To fight like chimps, love like bonobos, and adventure like John and Bree. That's the inscription I wrote on my husband's wedding ring. We both love adventures, and we took our first adventure together in New Zealand, which began with us learning to drive on the wrong side of the road. We flew into Auckland and began our journey through New Zealand with a quick stop in Hobbiton. John and I thought about buying a hobbit hole, but decided the commute would be too long. Now we understand why Peter Jackson wanted to film The Lord of the Rings in New Zealand. Next stop on our adventure was Rotorua, complete with geysers, smelly mud pools, and sulfurous Gatorade-like pools. My favorite part of Rotorua, though, was experiencing the Maori culture, especially the yummy bread. Along our journey, we came across many curious creatures and amusing animals. We saw many types of birds, including the famous kiwi and pukeko birds, as well as penguins and black swans. There are a lot of cows and, of course, sheep in New Zealand. The sheep are everywhere, including near railroad tracks, the ocean, and vineyards. To wind down, we tasted a variety of New Zealand wines and took a few of our favorites home. We really wanted to visit those vineyards and even forded a flooded road to get to one of them. One of the highlights of our adventure was going hot air ballooning. With much trepidation and a very early start to our day, we helped set up the balloon before taking off on a half-hour, once-in-a-lifetime flight. To ease our anxiety after the flight, the crew even gave us a bottle of champagne to celebrate. Besides the birds and domestic animals, we also experienced life on the wild side at the aquarium and swimming with the dolphins in Akaroa. Along our journey, we spotted seals along the coast and took the time to enjoy watching the babies play before heading on to Dunedin, where we sampled some yummy foods like cheese and chocolate, which both go very well with wine. After re-energizing with our cheese and chocolate, John drove us in a jaw-clenching ride up and down the steepest road in the world. In Milford Sound, we experienced some of the most beautiful scenery in New Zealand, including a rainbow or two. Queenstown was the last stop along our adventure before heading back to Auckland and home. We stopped in an ice bar for a quick drink before moving on to Stuart Landsborough's Puzzling World. We didn't stay too long at the Puzzling World because the puzzles were mind-blowing and threatening to give us headaches. We did end up spending quite a while in the maze, though. Thus we ended our adventure in New Zealand, back where we began, in Auckland. We have many fond memories from our first adventure together as a married couple and have the pictures to prove it. We look forward to many more adventures to come.